Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know before the video starts that OneUpBox sent me a really sweet box. At any point in time that you see anything from this unboxing and you'd like to have it yourself, you can check the link in the description below. I get a kickback, you get a discount, everyone wins, so make sure to check it out if any of this interests you. OneUpBox. Thanks.
So I have two articles to discuss today from Shigeru Miyamoto, one being detailing the concerns over VR and the other of story and its importance in video games. Let's begin with the VR article though. In terms of being online together in virtual reality, I think a lot of the problems have been solved or are starting to be solved. That was Miyamoto speaking to Time in an interview, and he stated that this is something we're looking into, that being Nintendo and the development of VR, as they have stated before that they would be interested in VR with the Nintendo Switch. That said, the brilliant designer behind Nintendo's most iconic franchises has lingering concerns over VR, this article is stating. Quote, "When I see people play virtual reality, it makes me worry. Just for example, if a parent were to see their kid playing in virtual reality, it would probably make them worry," he explained. He stated that there is an issue and challenge that those creating content for virtual reality face. How to create an experience that is both short enough while also fully fleshed out. And I think I understand exactly what he's saying, detailing concerns over how you make a virtual reality experience that feels like you could jump into it within seconds and play the game just as if you would just pick up a controller and start playing a video game, but then also have a full experience, a story-based experience where you feel like you actually got your money instead of having some short tech demo that you paid $60 for. I understand and sympathize with him in that regard. Now on to the story in video games. He continued on speaking with Time in that interview and offered his thoughts on story. He stated, "Let me start off by saying that Onoma, the game's producer of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and his team, instead of creating a game where you're playing the story, you yourself are embarking on an adventure." As he's always stated that he wanted you to represent Link. And I think they found a unique way to strike a balance between the story and the fact that you're on an adventure. He clarified, "It's not that I don't like story, that I'm denying the importance of story. I think after someone has played the game, it's important that the story lingers in their mind. But what I do think is a challenge is to cut down on playtime to set up and explain the story that's already been set." And he emphasized the importance of world building and play over story in games. Finally, he stated, "I think the story in Breath of the Wild still doesn't break the balance between the established in previous Zelda games, but we also wanted to make a game where after someone is done playing, their own experience in that game is what the story is. And I think we've been able to accomplish that with this title." So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, basically you have some concerns about VR and you have some concerns about story, and I think they're intertwined. I think that when you have a game that is basically Zelda Skyrim version, that's what everyone dubs it as, you're going to have a tough time figuring out how to incorporate a story into that while keeping the traditional Zelda mechanics, i.e. favoring gameplay over a heavy-handed storytelling arc. It's kind of why we have a lot of questions for Zelda and we don't have them being answered, because the story isn't emphasized and gameplay is emphasized. But a lot of people really love gameplay over the story. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you agree with Miyamoto that story is a little bit less important than the gameplay elements of the video game? I think I kind of agree with him in the fact that you have a good game like Zelda that you can play over and over again, but if the story was so heavy-handed and forced upon you every single time, you would probably get a little bit tired of that. And in traditional story-based games where you go from point A to point B to point C, that normally wouldn't be a problem because you would need that to progress the game and the story and understand what's going on. But in Breath of the Wild, a traditional open world game where you can go anywhere and do anything at any time, as they've stated before, it would be kind of difficult to shoehorn in some type of story there that you would have to constantly watch, look at, see every single story line of that section of the game when you're just replaying it for the open world aspects. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming and God bless. Thanks for watching.